I'm making a video on how to hold the silicone baby. It might seem like a strange thing to say. I mean, who doesn't know how to hold a baby? It's just that sometimes when it comes to silicone babies, there are some things I think you should know if you haven't held one before. Now, as you can see, my silicone baby looks very, very real. Okay, let me tilt over to let you see her face here and her little hands. I have her wearing gloves to help protect her fingers so that it doesn't take a chance on falling off or something. I think is a good idea to hold for your silicone baby to be wearing gloves most of the time, if not, and not wear gloves in special occasions, of course. But anyway, I want to talk about holding the silicone baby because my silicone baby is a solid silicone, which means it has silicone head, arms, legs, but it has a bag for a body, a cloth body. And the cloth body I find is that when a cloth body, it presses against your belly, and it feels very, very good. So you can, and then her bottom is right there. And if you press her bottom, you can feel the sand that's inside to fill up the baby. But it feels better than sand. I don't know what this stuff is made of, but it feels really, I mean, it's hard to explain. It feels really, really good. That's why I highly recommend that you get a baby with, silicone arms and legs, but with a bag for a body, because the bag feels more realistic. I think so. When you're pressing the baby against your belly, it's not silicone, because silicone is more bouncy, whereas the bag is more like a stuffed animal or a pillow, and I think it simulates the real baby better. I've had 3 babies, and as far as I can tell, it really feels more like a baby to be holding a bag than, a bag filled with fluff, than to be holding, a chunk of solid silicone. Even though the silicone comes in different qualities, of course. There's the Platinum EcoFlex 20, which is the softest one. The one my baby is a Platinum EcoFlex 30, which is slightly harder, but it's still soft, of course. But the thing is, if you have, when you're holding I think EcoFlex 30 is better for making a silicone baby. For one thing, it's slightly harder, so your baby is stronger, because the softer the silicone is, you can bet the easier it is to damage. So this is slightly harder, and so it clamps nicely into the cloth body, because the arms and legs are clamped on there, and if it's too soft, it's not going to stay. So it's hard enough so that it clamps on nicely, but it's still soft enough. When you hold the baby, then the body is just a bag, so it's perfectly soft. You can feel the arms and legs. There's a slight hardness in the arms and legs, but that feels very realistic, because in a real baby have bones too. It's not just a bag of water. So there will be a few hard spots here and there in the arm and legs. So this really simulates the feeling of holding a real baby very nicely. So if you feel hard, slightly hard, not like chunk of wood or something, but slightly harder areas, whereas the rest is all nice and cuddly soft. So it feels, well, perfect. Seriously. And just let me bend over so that you can see the baby a little better. And so just I think the baby with a bag body really is the best choice. I think so. I've researched this quite a bit, and then able to finally find a baby that has that is a silicone baby, and it's not a vinyl baby, because I think vinyl babies are good for looking at and good for like dressing, because the vinyl is plastic and the skin is very slick, so you can slide the clothes on and off. Silicone babies are not good for changing clothes. The stuff is rubber, or like a rubber band, and the stuff, it just sticks. Anything sticks to it. It doesn't just slide across nicely. Not like the human skin, you can slide right across. But the silicone skin, it sticks. So anything you want to put on the baby, you have to be so very careful that it's not stuck in there. And if you yank on it, the arms, the fingers and stuff might fall off. And that's another thing about the Platinum Eco 20 silicone babies, that they are so soft, and which makes you worry more about like stuff falling off, fingers, toes, that kind of thing. Whereas the silicone Platinum 30 is still soft, but I feel that it's somewhat better. And well, here's my baby's toes. I don't know how good you can see it, and I think It's very important if you have a silicone baby to always have them wear some kind of footwear if possible. I mean, with special occasions, of course, they should let their toes go bare and show it off. But normally they should wear, you know, any kind of foot covering like socks or this kind of bag clothes is perfect, because then the toes are all protected, because the toes are very, very small and skinny. So then it's very easy to let the toes fall right out of there. But anyway, so here's my little silicone baby. I'm still having her wear the hat. It's the same hat she got when she came to me, because I haven't found a better hat yet. Well, I ordered some hats on the internet finally, and it should come soon. But I think it's important for the baby to have a hat, and because the hat will help protect the hair from falling off, because the silicone hair seriously fall off fast if you're not careful. And it probably fall off anyway. Even if it does, you are careful, because it doesn't stay. It's not sealed in there, so it pulls out, you know, with no effort. And another thing is, when you hold a silicone baby, I think it's important to hold it such that its face does not touch your arm. You know, that no part of its face touches you. And similarly, when you put the silicone baby to bed, I think it's better not to put the baby down face down, because that is, I believe that the silicone baby's face should not touch anything ever. It just you know, say, and anyway, it's covered by the clothes and all that stuff. And the hat like this is very important, I think, is to prevent the ears from falling off, because like when you hold a baby, the other ear right here is pressed against your arm, and as you move around and stuff, it creates friction and rub around a little bit, and who knows, you can damage the ear that way, you know. So I think it's very important that your baby, whenever you're holding the baby, to have a baby wear a hat, so that the ears is held against the head, and you won't have as much chance of damaging the baby. But anyway, I think this is my first reborn child, and the only one I've gotten, my first and only. And probably I probably won't get another one. I don't know. Although I was sometimes thinking about getting a second one, and a second baby there with his eyes open, but probably not. I'll probably just stick with just one baby, because it's important to have one baby and you love it and treat it like it's your own baby. If I have a whole bunch of babies, I would think that it's harder to focus, you know, even because then your love is divided into 10, 20, 30 kids, and then you don't feel very attached to each one. Well, of course that depends on the person and depends on you. Maybe you're the kind who would really enjoy having 30 kids and love them all, and which there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.